Gypsy's Creative Creations. My name is Stephanie and I will be showing you how to make a yard gnome. Now if you're new to my channel and love creative DIYs, just hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit the bell, that way you get a notification every single time I upload. Also like, share, and comment on my video. Now what you'll need to start the gnome, you'll need 3 of these trees from the Dollar Tree. You'll need some mesh. You'll need some kind of bell or a little ornament with bell on it. You'll need something for his nose, so I have an ornament here. You'll need a pine cone. You'll need one of these trees. You'll need some little boots for his feet. Now these I got from the Family Dollar, but they were still $1 an ornament. You can find them at the Dollar Tree, and you can also find them at the Family Dollar or the Dollar General. You'll also need some moss, some of the nautical rope, some burlap. Now the Dollar Tree does carry some burlap rolls. You could use that. This one comes from Hobby Lobby, so just any kind of burlap that you have available. And you don't need a lot of it. It's just for his mittens. You'll need some Christmas lights, preferably white or any color that you prefer to have. You'll also need some of this mesh tubing in red or whatever color that goes with your scheme. And you'll also need some twine. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The part I'm going to get started on is the one that actually took me the longest to make, which is the hat. Because I didn't want to use a sock. I wanted to use something that could actually withstand the weather outside. So I went with this instead of a sock or even the burlap, just because this has a nice little form to it. And it comes off pretty easy. You just start at the top and just untwine it. Of course, you could save that for another project, or you could also use this for his mustache. It's completely up to you. So I found out if you want to do a moss hat, you need something for it to adhere to. And since the mesh, and it doesn't matter what color, I usually try to go with a dark color, so brown or black. It actually holds better to the actual form if you put the mesh in first and then put the moss. Now I have tried the moss sheets. They don't work well on this at all. Hey guys, so you just put a dab of hot glue there. Then we're going to fold it in half like that. And you're just going to wrap it. And hold it kind of tight, because that way it's not so loose. Like I said, this is just so the moss could adhere to it. So it doesn't have to be perfect, because you're not going to see this part once you put all the moss on there. But it doesn't need to be covered completely. And the reason I'm starting on the hat is because this is a little bit more time consuming since I'm making his hat out of moss. But like I said, he's going outside, so I didn't want to use fabric, just because it will probably get ruined out in the weather. So go ahead and cover a little bit of the rim. So this part took almost a whole roll. Alright, so when you get right there to the end, just cut it off. And then we're going to add some hot glue right here to the rim. And just stretch this right over. And you probably need to use a pair of scissors just to hold it down, just because we don't want to burn our fingers. So now that it's dry, make sure that you have moss. Now my Dollar Tree has the green, the really bright green moss, and it also has the gray Spanish moss. I like the green one. It just makes it look a whole lot more forestry, like it just come out of the forest. So, and this is the messy part as well, so it's gonna get everywhere. So usually what I do is I just put on some hot glue, and you need to break this apart and just kind of dab it on there. So just put a little bit of hot glue right there and to hold this part down. And what you're going to do is that you're just going to wrap it around like you would wrap around a Christmas tree. Just like that. And you'll have hot glue strings, just pull them out. It's fine, it won't pull the moss out that bad. Alright, so when you get right here to the tip, you're going to want to put some hot glue right here. And don't put a whole bunch, just put enough to hold this down right here. And if any of the moss falls out in here, or you need to add a little bit more, just go back and dab in just a little bit. And we're going to put some at the very tip as well. Now, usually I like to leave like a strand off to the side, and that's what we're going to hang the bell off of. And I also use the burlap string as well, and just put a little bit of hot glue on there. We're going to line it with the red one down below, and then we're just going to wrap this as well around it. And that's just to give his hat just a little bit of dimension there. I'll snip it off at the end there. And then the little, I kind of like to cut these things off, and I really like these from the Dollar Tree. It's the little Christmas tree with the star and the little bell, and I love to hang it off the end. So I make sure I twist this real good around there. And I use mostly the little cord. I don't use the red mesh, won't fit through there. So what I do is I tie it off really, really good. So I just double knot it and then just cut off the excess. Just like that. So you get your a little hat with a bell at the end. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna set this off to the side, and we're gonna start on the body. Alright guys, now that we have a clean work area, we're gonna take all these out of the boxes. course, they're 18 inches high, and they come with all the little extra feet and stuff. And we don't need, we'll need some of these, but not all of them. And then just on one of them, just take the bottom part. The other two can keep this on there. So this one you're going to take, and you're just going to literally split it down to half, where half goes in one way and the other one goes in the other, like that. Just have that off to the side. And these other ones, you're going to point all of the stems going down. Now my inspiration for this was off of Pinterest. They have natural Christmas tree limbs, and they kind of just bunch them together, and the gnomes don't have feet. It's just their hat and their nose, and there's a bunch of Christmas tree limbs, and they're bunched up together to make a little gnome, and it's cute. But I kind of wanted something that would last me a little longer than Christmas tree limbs. Just because Christmas tree limbs, you know, eventually they'll die and not last for a couple seasons and stuff like that. Now another way that you can make this, if you happen to have an old Christmas tree, one of them old fake Christmas trees, you could use the limbs off of that one to make them bigger or a lot fuller. But that's why I'm using 3 Christmas trees and not just 2 of them. So you're going to point all of the stems facing downwards. Even the top limbs, just have them all facing down. And then this one, just go like that. So you have that. And then we're going to do the next one. So what you're going to do is make sure that it's high enough where it lines up with the top of the knob. So just line up the top of the knob with that one, and then you know where to start just intermingling your stems with here. Then once you have this side together, you can tie the top of it like that. There you go. And then you can take a bottom limb, and just kind of squeeze them together. So the next thing we're going to do is add the next one in there. And of course you could adjust these limbs to face however you need them to face. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to put those together like that. And then we're going to take this top limb and kind of roll it around the top of this one. And then take a bottom limb and squeeze that together. Just like that. So just use your limbs. You don't really need zip ties and stuff. You just use the limbs to twist and tie them together. So once you got them together, you really want, oops, the little foot keeps on coming off there. You really want all the limbs to face downwards, down and side. Don't worry about the back. And like I said, I'm making these to go outside. And I know these little trees, they could withstand the weather. We've been having snow here in Tennessee. So I need to make sure that if it snows again or rains, it won't get destroyed outside. That's why I'm not using anything with fabric on there. It's either going to be rope, tinsel, moss, or anything that's what I would consider better to be out in the weather than fabric. So this top part, don't really worry about it because that's where his hat's going to go. You can kind of try to point this down as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to his hat. And the reason being is that I need to add his beard and his boots, but I also need to add the lights. So let me go ahead and add the lights in there. So I'm putting lights on him because he's going to be outside with a whole bunch of other decorations. I'm going more for Christmas in the forest theme this year. So it's going to be a little different. A lot of it's going to be a lot of natural elements. The hat's probably going to come right about down here. So, and you won't be able to see the lights in his hat, so there's no need for you to add it up there where the hat's going to be at. Alright guys, so you want to add a bunch of rocks in here and then slide it in there. Alright, my trees are sliding here. And sometimes it will do that. So just slide your boots on there. Like that. And then once you get your boots on there, just adjust them how you want them. And then start filling them in with rocks. Because you really need them to weigh down. So if you got rocks outside, if you don't, the Dollar Tree actually carries some bags of rocks or pebbles, anything heavy that you could put down there so they don't fly away. And you want to put these down in there where the rocks are going around them. This part right here, the Dollar Tree does carry burlap if you could find it. I have not been able to find it at mine. This particular robe come from Hobby Lobby. You could buy it at Walmart. I mean, it's burlap, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem finding it. So this is how I did his mustache. So I just took a little strip like this. Alright guys, so just cut you some of that nautical rope, and this is going to be his beard, and I particularly like to use this for a beard just because it gives it that nice curly effect that I would think a beard would look like. So you cut one long piece, and you could use that going from out to in or from in to out. It's completely on how you want it to look like. So, but this is going to go from long to short that way. And just kind of untwine it from itself. Just like that. And let me move this out of the way here. So, and that's why I have this strip. So what we're going to do is just put like a little piece of glue here. Just lightly. Just a couple strings. And then just take this and just gently lay it on there like that. And then take your other ones and untwine it, just like that. So next thing I'm going to do is attach the beard to the hat. So what you need to do is just run a bead of hot glue down his mustache and then go to the inside of the hat and just press upwards towards the rim. There we go. And that makes his mustache. So now you won't attach his nose until you actually have him on the reform. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So a couple of his rocks is probably going to fall out. But I want y'all to see how this looks so you know what I'm making here. See? Move this out of the way here. So of course for his nose, I have this little ball here, which comes in a packet at the Dollar Tree of ornaments. And of course you can pick any color you want to for his nose. It doesn't particularly have to be that color. Okay, because I want his hat to have that little pointy thing here, I'm going to take this little pipe cleaner, and I got it in a neutral color. Alright, so just take it and twist it, just like that. I'm going to take this and just kind of wrap this around, just like that. And it kind of matches because it is a neutral color. But if they don't have a neutral color, I mean, you can get a red one or just add in a different color. It doesn't particularly have to be a nude one. But I kind of wanted it to have that little bounce so he would have his little bell there. Now, also, the other reason that I'm not worried about this being, you know, like that or look unfinished is because I'm going to put a pine cone right there. So you just put some hot glue at the bottom of your pine cone. Just kind of like add it right there. Alright guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is his little mittens. So let's move him off to the side there. Of course you're going to take your burlap again. And you're just going to cut some little strips. Just like that. And what I do is I just try to make it rounded off. That way it actually looks like a mitten. Just like that. And I will sit there and just add some glue to the inside of it. Just like that. Now you can add some glue and add it to his hand here, but I usually just get a piece of twine. So you find a limb about the height that you're wanting it, just like that. Then get a piece of twine, and you're just going to take it and tie it off. So slide it on there, take this part, and just tie it off. There you go. You got a little mitten. And just make a little bow. Just like that. This is my tutorial for today. I will have pictures at the end with his lights lit up. But like I said, he's going outside. That's why I use more natural materials like burlap and moss. I just didn't want him to mold outside or get destroyed by the weather, because we are getting snow a little earlier than usual and heavy rains. So yeah, if y'all like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So yeah, if y'all make one, please don't hesitate to share it. I'd love to see what y'all come up with. So yeah, y'all have a good day. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.